Hey guys, this is Tom Box.
What's up, guys? Jay Quan here.
Hey, Dustin.
And today, I just actually got back from Asia. And I guess Lorcana is still the same. Nothing changed at all.
Sure.
It's peace. We got world peace. We attained world peace when I came back, right? That's of course not. I have no idea what's
Everything
going
went on fire.
It's like that scene from Community.
Yeah.
World peace for 3 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of things happened. I did not pay attention to any of it. I was jet lagged. I fell asleep. So, you guys are going to fill me in on multiple things today. Set rotation.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we just banned cards. Now there's set rotation. Like, what is this? And then there's new sets. There's world discussion. There's, like, new rarities. We're going to break it all down. But let's start with the very first thing that, we care about. We have set rotation. A lot. This is a hot topic. Like,
Very hot topic.
so what are we looking at right now?
Basically, we're looking at rotation happening when Fabled drops in early September, August if you're going for pre-release. The date hasn't been too established on it. We'll assume September 5th.
Yeah, as like the big box stores, or that
Yeah.
might be the. I think because they're gonna have a pre-release a week prior, right?
Yeah, you would think that the big box release would be when rotation comes.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes accessible to everybody. So year one sets, first
Yep.
chapter,
1 to
Floodborne,
4,
Inklands.
gone.
Yep.
So-
Goodbye Diablo.
Yep.
Good riddance. I had one good tournament with them. Not
Don't
good
worry.
at all.
It could potentially get reprinted maybe in the future. Maybe.
So you're talking about it. So it looks like this then.
Yeah, exactly. So essentially how it's going to work is that sets 1 to 4 is going to get rotated out. So we're going to have 5 sets when Fable comes out. And essentially once next year comes back around, then the next sets from 5 to 8 will get rotated out. And then that's going to leave us with another 5 sets in the format.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this rotation slide basically is saying what's going to happen in 2026. Not
Oh,
this
so
year.
this is not. This is like year 3 now. So like, so if we're in like, if Fable came out, yeah, like when Fable comes out, what's gonna happen is that we're rotating entirety of year 1 out of the cycle.
Yep.
And then so then we'll have Shimmering Skies, Azurite Seas, Arcasia's Island, and Reign of Jafar and Fabled as the. So it's gonna be like whenever we reset, there's gonna be 5 sets.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll start off with 5 sets. It seems like potentially the 5th set will have reprints of the prior 4 sets. At least that's the case with Fabled. We don't know what will happen with set 13. That's a year from now.
Yeah.
That's pretty far. Okay. What are you guys? What are your thoughts on it? Or like, what are your opinions? Like, how do you feel?
Well, personally, it was like bound to happen, right? Like eventually, we know that when it comes to all the cards coming out, there's just so many strong cards that are right now just in sets 1 to 4, right? Like you have like Friends on the Outside, B Preps, Hiram was in set 2, right?
Like a band.
Yeah, it got banned, but there's also Diablo and a bunch of other cards too that are just
Diablo's
all
gonna
broken, right?
go as
Rapunzel
well,
too, right? And it just almost felt like sets, like 6, 7 were just very, very lackluster, personally, in my opinion, right? Maybe you have like 1 or 2 really good cards, but everything else just felt kind of meh.
Yeah, a lot of deck building was basically what from set 1, 2, and 3 can I fit in here, and maybe I'll get a Tamatoa Happy as a Clam that pushes my deck over the edge. Maui Half Shark's another
Right.
example.
Okay.
So it'll allow for a lot more deck building, a lot more creativity.
Yeah, diversity.
It resets the game. I think.
I don't know. How does like what's the public opinion on this?
Well, it's split, right? Like there's going to be casual players who are upset, and there's going to be competitive players who are happy, right? They want a fresh format. Casual players, they probably like to collect, right? Collectors, and a lot of their stuff
Why?
down the drain, right? Like a lot of their
Why?
stuff is going to tank.
Right? It does feel kind of weird because I don't have a big collection, so
Right.
it doesn't really bother me.
Me and Dustin do. So
Yeah, you and Dustin. Dustin, you have
But we're also
you have
competitive
master
players.
sets, right? You guys
Yeah.
have master sets of this stuff, and that's why we have a channel, right? So we can still play with them.
But that's also why they released a side format, right? Infinity format, where you can play with every single card that has ever been released, right?
But does it follow a ban list still?
Infinity Constructed will have its own ban list. separate from standard.
We assume.
Standard will have no. Yeah, that was confirmed.
is it?
Let's confirm.
Rochelle, I believe, confirmed that in the post stream. Yeah, standard will have a ban list and rotation.
Think of it like standard and modern, like in Magic, right? I think it's like very similar to that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Magic has a ban list as well in standard, but
Yeah, they have a ban list for every single format they have,
Okay.
and then they also have rotations as well.
Okay. Also, Jay Kwan, can you like do this for me? Do this, and then widen. Actually, zoom in. There you go. Thank you. You're super zoomed into your face when you were talking. Anyways,
no.
that's fine. It's fine. It's part of the production here.
they also confirmed in DLCs they will support at least this year Infinity Constructed.
Yeah, and LGS
Oh,
is
that's
soon.
nice. At least it's a supported format,
Yeah.
unlike Yu-Gi-Oh, which
But
there is no traditional tournament. It's
Right.
just a hot mess because it's kind of unplayable.
Right.
I assume that will be attendance based. Like if there isn't
They'll just start to
attendance
fire
for it,
off right side events.
they won't continue with it if there is not a need for it.
So guys, go to your DLCs, go join those events if you want it to exist. If you don't want it to exist, then don't bother. But it could be a fast way to kind of fast track, specific formats. Yu-Gi-Oh does the whole time wizard thing to lock in specific formats are really, really fun. And if you want to lock in, this is probably the best way to show like, hey, because the only way that corporations listen to you is with statistics, and if you don't give them the stats, they're like, yeah, well, this thing proved did not work anyway. Why would we want to bother with it?
Right.
And like they need stats to show the higher ups, so that's the only way. Personally, I don't really care too much. Although it's kind of sad that my Baja Blasters have to take a few hits from this. Yeah, I don't know. I don't from a Yu-Gi-Oh standpoint, like we're so used to a ban list
Right.
so frequently, and we're so used to like taking severe hits within our own decks that I think I'm a little desensitized to this. But I can imagine like why
Yeah,
is
of
his
course.
broom deck? It got better after each set, and now you're gonna wipe a majority of these fun decks, these little theme decks or these pet decks that people have.
Not only that, it's like keep in mind that a lot of these players who do make pet decks, they like to foil them out, right? So
Oh, yeah.
now like all these legendary foils that they invested in because they just love the deck so much is not going to be playable now in regular tournaments, right?
Now they're a collectible.
Yeah, which I mean, look, can be like an upside and a downside, right? Like at the end of the day, like you could also think of it as like when rotation comes around, you can get discounted foil legendaries, right?
True.
And then you can maybe finish master sets like that, right? Like Beast Tragic Hero, foil might drop half the price. Now you can get one for your master set, right? So there's
True.
like again, there's pros and cons.
Yeah, that's true. Some people are collecting like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it is what it is. I'm used, but it's just so strange that it just comes so close after a ban. I thought they were gonna like, let's ban more cards.
Yeah, it's interesting that how like they just rotate the last 4 sets out like every year now, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Is that fast or is it like?
Well, a lot of casuals were hoping that basically set rotation. Like I think a lot of people expected rotation to happen, but
Not in
they
this.
kind of wanted 2 sets maybe to rotate
Yeah.
out, maybe 1, or wait till set 13, right? So
Could be
then
like every
there's
6 sets.
8 or so sets in the format at a given time, and then it goes to 12-ish sets before rotation happens.
Okay.
Um,
But does it make you feel like you want to quit?
no.
No.
Nope.
I'm
Okay,
happy.
there you go. So we don't feel like quitting.
Like
so
we're already in it. Like we've invested
We're too
so
deep.
much, right? Like,
we're in too deep.
I'm happy to see a format without Bounce, without Diablo,
True.
Kamatoa.
I mean, it's refreshing, right? Like
Now-
Without Be
now
Prepared.
cards- I think Be Prepared will probably be reprinted in Fabled.
Please
It's
no.
pretty
Please,
necessary,
please.
in my opinion.
Can we have like
Yeah.
a more neutered version of it? Like,
That's also very possible, right?
Yeah, right.
come on, like these board wipes, man.
But like Sisu, I don't anticipate that being reprinted
Sisu,
anytime
big
soon.
Sisu Shift is just such a good card because it's a one-sided board wipe.
Yeah.
and
Oh,
that's not
one-sided
fair.
board. Raigeki.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like these cards that we expect to be good, kind of like the Gantus and stuff like the one that stops you from using actions.
Yeah,
for the
all
turn.
those cards are
like-
not being used as much
and
right now. Will
Bagheera.
be very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's good for deck building.
Oh,
I anticipate more decks to come in. Like Steel Song's not going to be dominant because Steel Song's lost its whole deck.
Right.
It has-
They've
it has
No
not-
more aerial.
They
but
got silenced.
keep in mind that like with rotation, there's also going to be reprints, and with reprints, keep in mind that they could also reprint really good songs again, right?
Yep.
So,
So-
like, there's always chances for cards to come back once the format stabilizes, or Diablo could very well come back, right? Once there's like so many outs to Diablos, right? Well, even then, it's like we have so many outs now. But
So which set is the worst set to be released during? Like the last set is the worst. Because clearly, if you're in year 1 and you're the set 4 of year 1, you only get to play like a lot less compared to the other ones, don't you? Or is it the same? No.
I would assume the last set would always be a reprint set.
Like
Is
if
what
you
I
look
would
at first
say.
chapter, you get to play it for when it's released. You get to play it through Rise of the Floodborn. You get to play it through Rise of the Inklands, and then you get to Ursula's Return. You get to play Ursula's Return through Shimmering Skies, Azurite Sea, Arcasia's Island, and Ranger Jafar. And then once you hit year 3, boom, it's gone. Like there's certain sets in here that plays less. Are those cards going to be worth less? Not worthless, but like worth less.
Well,
Right?
it really depends. Like, I don't think they're going to be worth pennies, but
But I don't think I would like. You definitely get less playtime with them,
yeah, of course.
legally speaking.
Yeah, if you technically speaking, I guess you could say we got the least amount of playtime with Ursula's Return.
Yeah. It would be Raina Jafar, Ursula's Return. Every
Yeah.
single fourth set
Yeah.
seems to get less playtime than the rest, based on how they're rotating, because they're rotating 4 at a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
shit sucks. You still realistically get roughly a year with it, so
Okay, that's fair. That's about the Yu-Gi-Oh timeline, and if you're playing the first chapter, you get about 2 years worth of time with it. So it's okay. I think overall, it is what it is. I don't know.
It is what it
If
is.
you guys
We-
feel,
we kinda just
let
have to
us know
trust the
how you guys
process.
feel about having both banlist and
Yeah.
rotation, because it feels like this banlist thing, if a format does get out of control, they could just ban more cards.
and that is their intent. They've basically said that they will look into it, and if something needs to be adjusted, they
Yeah,
will.
it's like an emergency ban
I
list.
I think this ban list was an overreach. Hiram, sure. For Sphere, no. I think they probably know that as well.
Okay.
But it is what it is. You can't. Once you've made the decision, you can't
Gotta go back.
quickly correct it and say it was a mistake. Like that doesn't look good on
Yeah,
the.
you just kind of have to embrace it, right? Like as a player, and just kind of work with what you have. And at the end of the day, it's like the easier it is, like for you to get out of that mindset, then the easier it is for you to just move on and enjoy the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
All
a lot
right,
of-
let's move on from this topic. It's so depressing already. My cards aren't playable. My fun decks are dead. Okay, so now we are looking at Fabled. So they announced Fabled, which is the one that's gonna kick off the rotation.
Super exciting.
Lots of new
Super
things
exciting.
announced here. So what am I looking at right now?
We're looking at the in top 8 enchanted for the Fabled set championships. It's Maleficent, so it'll be a reprint.
Is it like the same art? Is it different art?
No, it's a completely different art.
Oh,
which,
I never owned a card, so I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, it's quite different. It's exciting.
because it also gives us a chance to see maybe like other cards that are really playable that never got enchanted. Maybe Beast Tragic Hero, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah, I'm super happy about this. And on top of that, because it's a set champ promo, you're also going to see the non-foiled version as well as a participation.
There it is.
It encourages people to get out to their set championships.
Yeah.
This is what a lot of people have been asking for: is give us playable alternate arts of cards.
Yeah, give us staples.
They've listened at least for set 9.
At least it's fast.
Like-
it's pretty immediate
Yeah,
when it comes to the turnover time.
Yeah,
There's
and-
no like bureaucracy that prevented it from happening.
And it's nice. Like one of my biggest qualms with the set champs is that they have these 40 entry promo cards. But if it's a playable card, that is an expensive card that encourages newer players, younger players to get these cards.
yeah.
That's
absolutely.
a positive. In
Because
my books.
some kids might be they might be deterred from joining set champs, right? Because they're like, oh, like this guy's unbeatable. Like I can't beat this guy's deck, or I can't beat these players,
that's
right?
me. That's me.
And but as a kid, like let's just say if I was like an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old, and I'm seeing like, oh, I'm getting a free Maleficent dragon just from entering, like I'm okay with whatever happens. A lot of times, like LGSs, they are pretty generous for the most part.
Yep.
With giving like other prizes on top for like draws and stuff like that, right? So there's like it's just an extra added bonus incentive for like everyone to just join, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Should they have taken the mat out for that? No.
Is there no mat now?
Well,
There's no runner-up.
There's the champion
Ah,
mat. There's
yeah.
no runner-up mat.
That's so little cost for them though.
Yeah.
I should have. No, it is kind of annoying because like if they made both the runner-up mat and the champion mat the same, they wouldn't have taken anything out. Because I've been in this kind of production, and I can tell you like The only thing that's making it kind of annoying is because they have to print that extra word of champion, so that counts as like, oh, this is a new thing. This is a second project. This is not the same project. So when they put it through the cycle to run many mats, now they're running 2 cycles to do it. So I get that they want to cut some costs to get more printing done.
I would still even be okay with like, again, just removing the champion
Just
and
give
just
us
having
2
a
mats.
generic mat,
Mo-
right?
mo-
But then what's the point
most-
of playing? But then what's the point of playing for first?
Well, you would just get like better pricing.
Most players want the champion label removed. They find it unsightly.
Yeah, because it's hard to
Really?
resell too, right?
This
Like
is a-
people don't
this
want
is
to
a-
buy it, and they didn't actually win it.
However, a big problem I find with set champs is once you've played the 3 rounds, you're out, you're gone, you're moving on, you're going to other set championships during the day.
There's no incentive for you
If
to
the
stay.
second match should have, instead of been the runner-up match, should have been a random raffle for attendance that's stayed
there.
Yeah.
through top
It's
cut or
true.
whatever.
Like how they did with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
They encourage
pre-releases,
people
right?
to
it
stay.
encouraged
Yeah.
people to stay, watch the top cut.
Because like I've had
maybe
so
play
many
Pack
stories
Rush.
of my friends telling me that they finally made it to the finals and they played for the mat. He lost. It was 10 p.m. He's tired. He's pissed. He's sad. Right, going through all these emotions, and it sucks. Honestly, right? You're there for practically the whole entire day, and just to grind it out, and you may not even
But
get
the
a mat.
whole point was the journey of playing the game. It's all about playing the game. You only feel bad for trying to profit. That's how I see it. If
But I
you're
think it's
there-
just like having that threshold, right, of being like in top 8, top 4, and then top 2, right? So just like having something for the top 2 players duking it out because they're probably gonna be the last ones in the store. It's just good to have like a better experience overall, right?
Yeah. I guess so. It's nice to have the promo. I agree because like when I went to all those set champs, that gave me nothing. I mean, my first event ever that I played was a set champ. I got demolished. I finished second last.
And did you have fun?
Yeah, I did. I got-
And that's all that matters.
Lorcana is a very fun game to play.
Well, I
It
didn't
has that
know
comfort.
anything. I got beat by a little girl. I got beat by a little
Well,
boy.
there you
I
go.
got beat by the whole family. It was a family beating,
Tom got a beat down.
one jab by the daughter, and then it gets sucker punched by the son, and then the dad just just seismic tossed me down into the ground. Who knows what they're doing to me? But I was getting destroyed. I finished second last. And the only reason why I even had points is because I just somehow had a draw with the last guy. But it was okay. It was fun. I was buying cards. I was checking out things. I was talking to people and getting a reaction. I was pretty new to the game at the time, but it was okay. But now, yeah, I don't know. I guess the older you are, the more that you feel like you value your time. So I can see why people would want to like get something out of it, especially if they put in the time to practice.
Of course.
I didn't put
It's
the time
no,
to
on
practice.
top of that, you have to look at it as like they're taking off a weekend day, right, to go to a set champs because set
But
champs
it's
only
fun.
happen.
Imagine being able
Saturday
to
and
play the
Sunday.
game for like this is like. I guess this is like it's still an event. It's an event. I should respect that. It is an
Right.
event that people are trying to compete in. Of
course.
fair. This is a new rarity, which
Super
looks like
cool.
an old rarity.
Yes, it looks very much like the Enchanteds of the past sets. The first chapter,
Of 1 to
second
3,
chapter, the promo cards from the
Floodborne,
Floodborne
yeah.
100.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to have a new foiling.
Yeah, it's the epic rarity. Obviously has a new little logo there.
So
It has the etching that's in,
how,
or
how
the
many
embossing that's on legendaries, whatever you want to
but
call
like
it.
how
the
many
texture.
packs do I have to go in to get one of these?
There's no official like ratio right now, but they are saying that it is going to be more rare than a legendary. So I think like we assume that's going to be 1 per box, probably, right?
Oh, that's still
One
kind
or
of cool.
one or two
Yeah.
per box is probably, or
Safe.
sorry, 1 per box or 2
Mm-hmm.
is probably the expected ratio you can assume to get. They are they're 16 in a set.
Yeah.
They are reprints of cards.
Yep.
Oh, they're not like new cards. It's not like set 9 or whatever.
They really emphasized reprints.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
didn't so much
There's
say.
not enough like spoilers right now for us to really speculate on that, but for the most part we think it's just going to be reprints. It's a good way for them to almost have like a side pool of cards, kind of like the Yu-Gi-Oh Rarity collection, right, where you have like the nostalgia pool.
Wow,
So
they
it could be like that.
immediately took that thing and applied it into their own game. Okay.
Yeah, a big grievance with a lot of players is that as fun as it is to open Lorcana for the card art and the characters that we all love, it didn't feel great to open because there wasn't much value
Yeah.
and there's not much
Usability.
chase
And
cards.
it's not guaranteed to have an enchanted in a case. So you could see people buy a whole entire case and not pull any enchanted, right?
Oh, I
So
saw that.
this at least gives us a middle ground to kind of, as collectors, have something that comes out of a box, right? That we can look forward to. On top of that, we are now getting box toppers too,
Yeah.
right? So
a box topper program.
yeah, from LGS's.
3 chaseable rarities is nothing but good in my opinion.
That's good.
These
More
being
for people.
being slightly easier to get than enchanteds feels good, less expensive, but who cares? If you want to flash out your decks, you can, and it's more affordable.
Now, for the people that weren't happy about easier access rarity, well, guess what? There's a harder access rarity.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, I can't tell the difference from the images here, but this is the iconic rarity.
Yes, and you can kind of get a glimpse on the top of that little feather on his hat, a little lore symbol.
I can see it actually all over the text box. The text box bottom area, you can kind of
yep,
see it. Yeah.
Yep. So that's a special foiling just for Lorcana. It makes sense considering it's the lore pips.
So is that what
Those
they're
are
called?
only on iconic cards, and it also has etching. You can think of like an ultimate rare in Yu-Gi-Oh or
A Pokemon full art.
Pokemon full art.
Or just a regular etch magic card too, right?
They exist.
Yeah,
There's
they do.
2 per set, so they confirmed the 2 that will be in Fabled, which is this Mickey Mouse we're looking at, and Minnie Mouse, the Minnie Mouse on the card, the pack art. Sorry.
Oh, that one.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, okay, before we go any further, what are your thoughts on the value on the Mickey and on the Minnie, since they are the first ones to get it, the first ones to receive an iconic rarity?
They are the first, and they are also symbolic with one another, right? You don't want Mickey and not have Minnie. You want both. So people
Are they
going-
both riding the
Yes.
Ferris wheel?
Yeah,
Not Ferris wheel. Sorry.
Could be like, like connected art.
What do they call this
the
ride?
carousel.
Carousel. Carousel. That's what.
Yeah, they're both riding that.
Oh,
They-
that's an iconic buy. Oh my god, that's gonna dig so deep into pockets.
yeah. These are easily going to exceed
It's 4 figures.
800.
4 figures.
Yeah.
USD.
Well, we
I
don't know.
imagine.
Like they said, they're going to be harder to get than enchanteds. Like we're speculating maybe like 1 out of like 3 or 4 cases, even, right? And a case comes with 4 booster boxes.
So you're talking about like if you want both, you might have to go
like
into
maybe
8.
like 1 out of
cases.
500, right?
Yeah, you
Packs.
could imagine it's at least going to be twice as hard to find as an enchanted.
Yeah.
And there's, well, in theory, it could be even.
Now I'm wondering
I'll-
if you can get an iconic and an enchanted. in the
Yeah,
same
that's
box,
what
right?
I'm thinking too. Like,
Iconic
does it
will
replace
not
it?
take
You
the
know?
slot.
It will not take the slot. So there you go. You can have
Oh.
like in one box you could have an enchanted, an epic, and an iconic.
Well, not in one box. Okay, if you have a box like that, that's literally god
Yeah.
boxing it to like the nth level. I pulled 2 epics, I pulled the enchanted, and I got the iconic. I basically had just won the lottery right here. That would be crazy. That is legit god boxing.
Yeah, it could happen, right? Like even like Pokemon, they have god packs, right?
But those are designed though. It's different. Like
This would be
putting all the
randomized.
evolutions into one
just
pack.
be clumped together.
Yeah, like imagine getting both Binky and Minnie in one pack.
Yeah, I don't think that will be possible. but,
That's a manufacturing error.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
yeah, and the lore itself is or like the ink cost is red.
Is it red because this character's red?
I would
I
assume so.
imagine-
Like I would assume like the colored portions is very easily interchangeable between iconics and different sets. Maybe just based off of the theme. Who knows?
Yeah,
Because Fable does have a lot of red in it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they emphasize they pushed the card text and stuff to be even further off the card edge, so like you'd get more
More
of
art.
the detail.
It is very
We
nice
don't know the
looking.
effect of this card.
Yeah.
Tom pointed out it's a Floodborn, so
Yeah, it has
Will-
the Floodborn. It
will
has a
it be
Floodborn shifter.
discard to shift or a shift 1? We don't know. Two
shift
flat
2.
line.
But the most important part is that there's 2 new rarities going to
yeah.
be for Lorcana.
So what
you
does
know?
the enchanted look like? Well, this is what the new enchanted.
Yeah, give us a vanilla 555 enchanted. I love it.
Yeah.
Wait, this is just worse Scrooge.
Yeah.
Well, Honey Wizard is iconic in Lorcana.
I like
it's
it.
one of people's like
Yeah.
favorite arts. They've made
I
sleeves
foiled.
now.
There's mats
Everyone
of it.
wants the
The
mat.
mat was like what, $80, $100 at one point. Like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
and they did a brief reprint for it.
Yeah. It's just such a
Everyone
nice
wanted
art.
it Enchanted when
So
it came
cool.
out in set 2, so now we're finally getting it.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It looks great. I
Okay.
definitely want one.
I'm all in for it, man. We're gonna be broke, just getting cases and cases of Fabled, but it's also like gonna be a really cool experience to just crack some of these open.
Yeah, and it seems like everything they're doing with the higher rarity cards too are just trying to prevent counterfeiting, right? Like they've the old enchanteds were very easy
Oh,
to
yeah.
counterfeit. You experienced that
Right.
recently.
Did you experience that?
Oh yeah. Like
You got
recently,
did you
too.
did you trade for a counterfeit?
I
or-
traded for a counterfeit Stitch Rockstar Enchanted Set Champ promo. And
How?
it was a fake. And luckily for me, I have a good eye, and I have a couple of friends who sent me photos of theirs, and I compared it. So usually for fake enchanteds, it's you have to look at the enchanted symbol and in the quill to see if there's like any gaps or not in there. My counterfeit one did not have like they weren't connected, so they did have a gap, which is a good thing. But the only thing that caught me off guard was the willpower. The willpower was not foiled. It was just plain white. And sets 1 to 3, they are supposed to be foiled. Whereas sets 4 and then after, the willpower are not foiled.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's also
so
the same
confusing.
thing with the
need
ink cost on the top left as well. The number could be non-foiled, and if that's the case for sets 1 to 3, it's a fake. So that happened to me. Luckily, the place I got it gave me a refund, so all good there. But
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
very
good.
scary because at first, like I could not tell, and obviously the place I got it from, they couldn't tell either.
Oh, did they lose
it was-
money or something? Is that a
They-
store?
yeah,
Yeah,
so it was a store. They lost money obviously on it, but like they couldn't tell, I couldn't tell until I pointed all these things out, and they had to do another check on it, and that's when they're like, oh yeah, no, this is not right.
Yeah, so
So scary.
At least
Like
it
I s-
was done right
very
by you
scary.
though, and it sucks to.
Yeah.
it's
be
good
hit
that
like
they're
that.
changing the enchanteds and the high rarity cards to try to prevent that
Yeah.
and to make it harder for counterfeiting to happen.
But it just feels like they're just chasing it, right? They just change it a bit, and then like, oh, the counterfeiters, they just going like, oh, this is the new.
Well, it's more work
change.
for them, right? And it's
Well,
just
Oh, they
easier
should.
for-
The counterfeiters should be happy that.
I don't think
well,
they've been
They don't have
able
me
to
looking
mimic
at it.
the legendary like embossing that they have, or
Right.
whatever you want to call it. So adding it to the epics and stuff is great, because otherwise it would be really easy to counterfeit
yeah.
them, right?
Having like an enchanted texture, I don't think we have that yet.
No.
So that'd be really
much
nice
harder.
to see. Yeah.
Like
I would
you,
like
you,
to see
you need
that.
the proper machines to really do that.
Yeah.
I think like embossing is a good way, but
Mm-hmm.
like, or they could just have a laser, the icon, like where the legendary, the epic, the enchanted, iconic, those icons, they could probably laser those in. It's really hard to, and make sure that inside that the graphic of the laser is something that is a Disney copyright. I don't know, like the Disney's D in there. If they do that, much harder. It's kind of like what Yu-Gi-Oh does with their
The
Eye
Eye
of
of
Anubis,
Anubis.
yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, because like they own that particular copyright to that, to my knowledge, and so it just makes it so much harder because it's just tech that people don't have. Oh, it's just a sticker. No, it's not just a sticker. It shines a certain way, and there's a specific way that it has to be, and if it's not that, and you only have one manufacturer for it, and therefore it's just much more controlled environment. So yeah. Anyways, that's the rarity stuff. I think. Is there any more? No. Oh yeah, there's this Goofy movie thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goofy movie, a fan favorite. It's one of my favorite movies growing up. Me and my sister loved the Goofy movie. Watched it all the time.
Is this still the Goofy movie, or is it like a new movie?
No, it's the
It's
old
the
one, right?
30th or 30th anniversary, I believe, of Goofy movies. So
Man, I
think
feel old.
They're just basically got the rights to have the movie, and
Okay.
A
Celebrate
lot of
that.
people were requesting it, so yeah,
Uh,
they were super excited to announce
So
it.
the guy in the back, he's gonna be like some crazy singer card, right?
yeah, that's
Supposedly.
Powerline. Rochelle again. She kind of hinted that he's going to be a good singer.
He's gonna be a one-drop
Thematically,
sing
that
four.
makes sense.
One drop sing 4.
Which is good because we're losing a ton of good singers. So if we get a new one, that's great. Maybe you'll have a spectacular singers effect. You know.
What was the musical number in Goofy movie?
I don't recall.
Because those are going to be your new songs, right?
Yeah.
Those are going to be the new songs, right?
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Well, it's too late. We're moving on. Now it's Reign of Jafar. We're back
Right.
to Aladdin Land.
And it's coming right up too, just in a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, this is the
Yep.
closer set.
Yeah,
Yep.
May.
End of May, I think.
Oh, it's
30th?
already set champs.
they're-
I've been gone for a
They're
while. Sorry.
hosting, starting Reign of Jafar, they're hosting pre-release events now.
Yep, May 30th, I believe, is when Reign of Jafar pre-release drops.
What's a pre-release event?
I'm assuming that they just give you a couple packs and promos, right?
You get a
And
draft battle?
they'll probably do something similar to like Pack Rush, maybe.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
so-
store dependent.
Yeah.
The store we normally go to, Tom, they like to do a draft for pre-release.
Yeah, they like to do that.
It's up to the store's discretion, basically, of how it works. Pre-release is almost no different than the early release that official stores would get. They just
Yeah, because
Did a
usually
name change?
when the LGSs get the set early, usually on that same week they start hosting drafts, right? And you can
Yeah.
kind of look at that as like a pre-release event, right? Because it hasn't been released in big box stores yet.
yeah.
So that's and now I think it's just extra incentives because previously we didn't have any promos for pre-release. So now like some of the drafts that I went to and some of the last couple of sets, like they've only had maybe like 6 to 8 people. There was no like incentive, right? So this is a great thing.
Yeah, you
I mean,
get
just
they
buy
have the
cards.
box topper now, so
Yep.
when you buy a box at pre-release,
More
you'll
freebies.
get the Minnie Mouse.
Yep.
Well, I do agree. Like, whenever I go to pre-release, the one thing that I learned was to not buy cards during pre-release week.
Oh yeah,
It's
cards.
overpriced to oblivion.
No, it's like that with every card game, right?
It
Like,
is. Like, you
yeah.
should know better. Like, if you want a card, even a common card.
Like,
Actually, no. Common cards are sometimes better because you can actually pick those up for cheap.
Yeah.
Like when Bell was released.
Oh yeah, Bell foils.
Bell foil was pretty
Yeah.
cheap, and then
Even
Bell
like
foil
Smee's uncommon, they go for like $2-3.
but now they're like more.
Yeah.
But every
Way more.
Every legendary is
Overpriced.
$10-20
Yeah.
at least.
And then you see them drop
there
to
is the
like
It dropped to like a
occasional
couple. It
exception.
dropped to $1.
yeah.
Maui Half Shark was cheaper on pre-release than
Yeah, it was like
ended up becoming.
35,
That's just a gamble.
40.
Tamatoa, I think, has
The Overshot
maintained its
was
price
like
for the most part.
80.
Yeah, it started at 80 and it's
Yeah.
still like what
60,
69.
50 around there.
Yeah, but for the most part, buying at pre-release, unless you have a 10K, 1K.
If
not
there's a
very-
big
there's
event
not
right
a lot
around the
of
corner,
incentive.
by all means, right?
Yeah, it's an invest. You're investing for a potential higher win for later. And this is the Enchanted. What is this Enchanted? Is this Enchanted?
This is a blue
Jasmine,
steel enchanted, I believe.
Wait, it's a blue steel Enchanted.
Yeah,
Oh, this is the first
Jasmine.
dual color Enchanted.
No, there
they're-
has been in Arcasia's Island.
What's the dual color Enchanted?
Well, for the set champs, we had the
Hero.
hero. There's also plenty of other like dual ink enchantments as well. Like I think it was like Mad Hatter.
Oh yeah, Mad Hatter,
and then
green red. Yep.
So there was a few. There's a few.
I'm totally lost on this, but okay. I never got to
Tom's
see
been
it.
on a very long hiatus. So
I was in
bear
Asia.
bear with
I
them.
just got back. I just got back, guys. You guys are filling me in on everything I missed.
Bear with him.
And therefore, this is the video for anyone that missed out on whatever that happened today/yesterday. If you guys are watching the day after today,
Yeah, there was the hero, Mad Hatter, and the Bell, and Jafar.
Oh yeah.
oh, what I meant. I guess what I'm thinking
Oh,
is,
Tom,
there's-
you pulled one. Mirabelle.
Oh yeah, Mirabelle. The
oh,
amethyst
yeah.
amber.
I
Yeah,
did
Yeah.
pull
you
it.
came and sniped it.
Yeah, I wanted to. What was it? The pre-release?
yeah, and
Yeah, I
went
went
to
to
a
the
draft. You
pre-release.
went to a
Yeah, it was
draft,
the
yeah.
draft of the. It was a draft night. I bought 2 packs and I walked out. Yeah, I got the Mirabelle. I completely forgot. I blanked
Yeah,
out.
one of the least expensive ones, but Mirabelle is
Still nice art.
it's a nice character.
Yeah.
I enjoy Encanto a lot, so
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Oh, and if you get a promo card, they get
Mm-hmm.
red text, pips.
Yep, I think that's just something
it?
they're doing with Reign of Jafar. Red
Yeah.
is heavily influenced in this set.
Yep. It's probably changed like over time. I think like